Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about intersectional feminism and identity politics, because I assure you that the source of many of your frustrations in life as a man in a free society is, in fact, intersectional feminism and identity politics. And some of you might be thinking, oh, Howard Dare is talking about race, but I'm not. Some of you might be even thinking Howard Dare is talking about gender, and I'm not exclusively. The separating factor here is between rational, logical, virtuous, freedom-loving people versus dishonest, unvirtuous, parasitical type of people. It's got nothing to do with race. If a man wants to work hard and earn his way in the world and isn't looking for a free handout from anybody else, that's who I'm talking about. And if a woman happens to be in that same situation, I'm talking about her as well. So it really is a difference between the individualist who loves freedom for the individual versus the collectivist who wants to be part of the group and wants to be taken care of. And I don't think that it's difficult to see that a young person growing up in a family, growing up in a culture, moving through the institutions of that culture will adopt a whole set of collectivist, defensive ideas regarding that culture. It really is, as Aristotle said, the unexamined life is not worth living. And the unexamined belief system is not worth having. Well, perhaps we shouldn't go that far. Because in and of itself, the principles and the ideals of a freedom-loving society are virtuous, sustainable, good. They build the future. What kind of a definition of virtue do you want? Now, on the collectivist side, the person who believes that the group is going to be right no matter what, and that the group rights trump the individual rights, well, this person is just adopting and accepting everything, on faith, on dogma. So if the values of the society are in fact good, well, then the person who's adopted those values, they've got a pretty good chance. But if the values are bad, self-serving, self-destructive, deceiving the self, well, that person might benefit for a little while because they're part of that collective group and they're, using that deception to gather those resources and to abdicate their responsibility to reality. So they might benefit for a little while, and they certainly, will be happier. What is it that Pascal said? This is Blaise Pascal, right? Imagination cannot make fools wise, but she can make them happy to the envy of reason. So there you go, right? So these people, part of this collectivist deluded mindset, they can get fat, they can get happy for a while, but eventually they will have to deal, they want you to deal with the results of their indecision, their lack of decision, their unwillingness to face reality. This is part of a larger philosophical question. It really is. I'm not just making this stuff up. These are not my ideas, okay? This collectivist mindset is a worshiping of pleasure and just human indulgence and weakness. It is an abdication of the higher human mental functions. And by doing so, it condemns the individual, and the group to this horrible existence that ends, of course, in their own destruction, right? Within their own weakness as well. Meaning, like they overeat themselves to death, or they drink themselves to death, or they just fail to work and fail to take action until everything around them falls apart, right? Understand that is an abdication as well. It's like the individual says, well, I didn't do anything. I always did as I was told. It's like, that's right. You didn't do anything. You only did what you were told. And as a result, that's an abdication. You have to observe, you have to adjust, you have to course correct, you have to measure where you are again and correct again. It's a constant process. And it is the habits of work, as Aristotle also said. Well, okay, now I'm reaching. It's the habits, it's the daily habits that make you who and what you are, not your noble ideals, not, that one lofty goal that you're striving for, not those principles that you hold someplace, but the things you do every day. And you have to do, these difficult things every day. There's no abdicating that responsibility. So let's talk about intersectional feminism and identity politics, because I want those of you who I'm talking to understand. And I'm mostly speaking to the younger man and to the man who's, trying to understand and has a lot of difficulties understanding, right? Not the hugest market. That the mindset of the feminist, and this is stated plainly, intersectional feminism, is that all of this is related. All of this is part of a patriarchal, oppressive system to women. I don't want to state it too strongly, but it's bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, there you go. I think you should listen to the feminists themselves to glean the character, and the substance of how bad it really is. And therefore, intersectional feminism. Every bit of the patriarchal system is connected and oppressing women. Therefore, it's all a valid target. All of it. Anything having to do with any man and his benefit is a target, is part of that system. And I want you to understand that so that you don't think that there's rhyme or reason behind their behavior. Trying to figure it out. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? They're doing all of it for the same reason. I've spoken about this in other videos. This is a whole other subject, It's driven by resentment and fear. Check out some of my other videos. So now let's bring identity politics into the mix. Oh, you have a problem with that? Good. Because now I've just factioned us off into two groups. Those who don't have a problem with it and those who do have a problem with it. This is identity politics. Welcome to identity politics. Oh, you don't like it? Well, let's go into your motivations and let's demonize one group over the other. So it's kind of like the most base form of politics and the worst aspect of it too, this appeal. And again, founded on resentment, weakness, lack of virtue. Virtue being defined as those skills, those habits, not the ideals, the habits that are successful in life. Oh, now you're saying, Howard Dare is like all about survival of the fittest, right? Without compassion to the others. And it's like, no, that's not true either, okay? Because that's not sustainable. Survival of the fittest is not sustainable. People would be destroying each other and it would not end well. So this cooperative, free system of free trade between men without restrictions, unless it's for this really, truly general common good, which is not to be co-opted by a weak mind. So you understand, right, what's going on. The collectivist, the anti-individualist, is using intersectional feminism and identity politics to demonize the ruling class, which is anybody who has virtue, because they're the successful people. Do you understand? And they're promoting weakness, lack of virtue, as being oppressed, as being the victim. So the entire value system becomes inverted. Nietzsche speaks about this, right? Great stuff. Check it out. Audiobooks available for free here on YouTube. Or you can listen to Howard Dare videos too. But takes me a while to get to these points. Other people can get straight to them. I appreciate you stopping by, everybody. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate to the Howard Dare channel because we have no workable financial model to move forward. We won't be able to sustain ourselves moving forward through the YouTube AdSense system. We just won't. And neither will other MGTOW channels. So unless they find another way to monetize their efforts, they won't be able to go forward. And that'll limit the quality and the consistency of the content greatly. That'll essentially destroy it. Some people I know would argue that only things that people do for free are virtuous. But that's because they have been sold that collectivist lie that I'm speaking about, okay? Nobody works for free. You're not supposed to give things of value for free. And if you do, and people don't compensate you, then those things go away because they become unsustainable. And if you do that as an individual, okay, you will run out of energy. You'll become sick. You'll run out of resources. You'll run out of that extra money, that you've got. And remember the habits, okay, because why would you do that, right? That is not the habit of a successful, virtuous person. That's the habit of a parasite. You would never waste. So we need your support. And I'm moving forward on a lot of different fronts, trying a lot of different things. And this is dangerous from an economic model, from a venture point of view. It dilutes your efforts, So unless they are very successful, then you've usually got a problem. And it's not the smart move to do. But we're doing it because we need to do it. So I just wanted to offer you guys these insights regarding the motivations of feminists and most of the people that you're interacting with. And if you become become associated with these types of people, they will tear you down, okay? It doesn't matter exactly how, where, when. Eventually, they will. That is their goal. So you have to recognize who these people are. And then you have to be strong enough and independent enough to not have to associate with them. And that's not easy. That's one of the most difficult parts. Hopefully, MGTOW and the MGTOW community can help a man in that area, right? It's a noble, virtuous thing to do, if not the most profitable thing to do or the most efficient thing to do with one's time. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.